Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for watching PT's Far Removed Uncle. Here's a little update on Jeremy Dewitte. As you know, he's out of jail now and he's waiting his criminal charges for financial frauds and insurance fraud and whatnot. We all know that. But Jeremy Dewitte had a pre-trial conference yesterday. Wait, no, I'm sorry, today. And you can see it here on the screen. Recently, he had all of his bonds instated. He paid his bonds, so he doesn't have to sit in jail or anything while he awaits his trial. As you can see today on his pre-trial conference, the court granted his motion to continue. So he's been granted a continuance in the case. So instead of being heard this month and being adjudicated this month, as of right now, they've pushed it all the way back until October 2nd when they're going to have a hearing. As you know, if you're going to be found guilty, you can either be found guilty during a trial or a hearing. Jeremy Dewitte never wants to go to trial, you know. So he's always doing plea hearings and a negotiation settlement before he ever gets to trial. So right now we're looking at the next Jeremy Dewitte court date. Something important is going to be October 2nd. Of course, he's going to have a hearing before that. They always do have a pre-trial conference. And I anticipate that this will probably be continued again to give the counsel more time to catch up on the case. But right now we're looking at October 2nd when he's going to be back in court to defend himself against these allegations of staging a motor vehicle accident, making false and fraudulent insurance claims, obtaining property by communications fraud, running an organized scheme to defraud, having false and fraudulent insurance claims, multiple counts of that, and organizing, planning, or participating in an intentional motor vehicle collision. As you know, I think all these arguments are going to be very weak against Jeremy. They're going to have to try to prove that he planned a vehicle collision for insurance purposes, and they have video of the aftermath of the accident, but it's all based upon Jennifer Burton's testimony that Jeremy tried to get into that accident. And as you know, Jennifer Burton is not a credible witness in any sense. The court has declared her not to be credible. So if they're going to try to use her testimony that Jeremy Dewitte did this on purpose, first of all, that's like hearsay. Second of all, she's not trustworthy. Third of all, I doubt she's even going to cooperate with the prosecution and testify against Jeremy in the first place. So planning an intentional motor vehicle collision, I don't think that's going to stick too much with this case with Jeremy. The false and fraudulent motor vehicle insurance applications, they might be able to get that to stick. I mean, there's some solid evidence toward that, but that was all done under Jeremy Dewitte's LLC, which is a limited liability company, which means Jeremy Dewitte is going to be held harmless for any clerical errors that are made by his LLC. And that's exactly what he's going to say here, is that the insurance applications and the fake insurance and stuff, those are just clerical errors. He was so confused with all of his cars and trying to run his business, and he has no business experience and no education to speak of. So he was confused with all the paperwork, and he was disorganized. The court's not going to send him to prison for being disorganized and clerical errors. Of course, that's not what it was, but that's what Jeremy Dewitte is going to claim. And this is the first time he's ever going to be charged with insurance fraud. So it's a first-time offense. Same thing with the false and fraudulent insurance claims. Those were all done under his LLC. In fact, the only charge here that I really see could stick harshly for Jeremy is his failure to register as a sexual offender. But he's already paid his time for that, and I don't think they're going to charge him again for that. So whatever happens, I think Jeremy Dewitte's going to get off really easy on these criminal fraud charges. And right now he's apparently working on his defense with his public defender. Amir is no longer involved in this case. Jeremy can't afford to bring Amir on to new cases at this point. Amir was only helping represent him on his old cases that were pre-existing from when he actually hired Amir. And since he can't pay Amir anymore, Amir can't just walk away from him as a client, but he has to stick it out with Jeremy on the cases that he had already signed on. But with these new charges, Jeremy Dewitte has a public defender, and his name is Public Defender. Okay, I don't know what his name is. But that's what's going on with Jeremy. He's out of jail. He's getting his continuance, as we all knew. He's fighting these charges. He's probably going to win and get off very easy. After all, this is Florida, people. This is Florida, and it's the 9th Judicial District in Florida. They are friends with Jeremy Dewitte. Or I should say they are friendly with Jeremy Dewitte. The political quid pro quos that go on in this area of Florida are aplenty, and Jeremy Dewitte was involved in some of them, so that knowledge he holds against politicians who then seek to protect Jeremy Dewitte, only because the politicians don't want their own secrets exposed or to be made public on social media day after day after day, as Jeremy Dewitte would hammer that like there's corruption in politics, which is why he's in jail, is what Jeremy Dewitte would say, when really Jeremy Dewitte's getting out of jail because there is corruption in politics in Central Florida. If there wasn't, then Jeremy Dewitte would have been prosecuted and put in jail a long time ago. Hey, thanks for watching PT's Far Removed Uncle. I talked to PoliceTube yesterday, my nephew. I haven't talked to him for a while, but he wanted to say hello to everybody. He freaking misses you all. Lots of fans, guys. Lots of fans. Thanks for watching. And as always, make sure you have yourself a Jeremy Dewitte day.